Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. This week, or in this video, we're taking a risk. We're taking a big risk, and if you're a reader as avid as I am, you'll know that sometimes there are books that you know you're gonna love, so you kind of avoid them, but no more avoiding this week. I keep saying it's going to take a week. We don't know. We're gonna just let it go as long as it needs to go, because like I said, this is a big step. So I have 3 books that I've pulled that I anticipate to be 5 stars. I feel like I'm going to love these books, but that's only based on other people's reviews, what I've seen about the book, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So just hearing what people had to say and people's feelings about it, and some books that I've read that are similar, I feel like I'm absolutely gonna love them. So this is scary. This is a scary step to take, because what if I don't? Without further ado, let me tell you what the books are. The first one, I've had this for about 2 years now, since just before I started this channel, and it still hasn't been read. I read Once Upon a Broken Heart before this. I don't know why I did that. Caraval is the prequel, or the series that comes before it. I don't know exactly what it's about. Obviously, it is about a caraval and there's magic involved. It is fantasy, which is the theme of the video this week. But I do anticipate that I'm gonna really love it, because I loved Once Upon a Broken Heart, especially the first book. I've been putting this off. I just feel like I'm gonna love it. So this is the first anticipated 5-star. Next, Belladonna by Adalyn Grace. I've heard only good things about it. I've seen 1 or 2 creators that didn't really love it, but they gave it a 3-star. I haven't seen anything below that. So this is also a fantasy, but it's more gothic, and it's got like the personification of death and stuff like that. So this sounds really like interesting to me, because I do like darker themed books. So very excited for this. I've had this book for over a year now, and I've just been putting it off, like trying to find the perfect video for it. Like, should I start a new series? Should I do this? And I just know I'm gonna love it. Well, I feel like I'm gonna love it, and I'm so scared that I'm not, because I've already purchased the second book. And last but not least, Throne of Glass. So as you all know, I finished the ACOTAR series a couple of months ago, I want to say, and naturally we need to read Throne of Glass next. I've decided to read the Assassin's Blade first, because some people do suggest it, because it is a prequel, and I think it falls between book 3 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. But because it's a prequel, some people found it really boring in that spot. This could be an introduction, so I'm deciding to read this first. I love the ACOTAR series. It's like my entire personality. Like a lot of other readers, it changed my mind about reading and got me into reading again, and just like enjoying that. It also really got me into loving fantasy. I do love J Maas's writing, and I'm hoping that it lives up to the hype, because this is one of the most hyped books I actually own. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to read first. I'm actually going to film another video, and then we'll have to decide. But I kind of want to read Assassin's Blade last, because sometimes J Maas books can give me a book hangover, and when I get those, it kind of, yeah, any book I read after that doesn't live up to the expectations that I would want it to. So maybe I'll read them in this order: Belladonna first, Caraval, and then the Assassin's Blade. So yeah, that was a very long-winded intro. Let's go ahead and get started. Well, for you it will be 1 second, for me it will be a couple of hours, but I'm very excited, yet so nervous. With that all being said, let's jump in. Hi guys, so I finally started Belladonna by Adalyn Grace, and I'm only on page and it's already sucked me in. It's really interesting. I made some notes just as I was going along so I could say this on camera, because I'm a scatterbrain and I will forget it. So our main female character, her name is Signa. One night, well, in the prologue, her whole family basically is murdered by poisoning, and they were hosting a party. She was a couple months old, and everybody was poisoned in their wine. So she breastfed off her mother, and she was meant to die, but death didn't take her, because when he went to touch her, he realized that she could see him and sense him, and when he touched her, he didn't see like a life flash before her eyes. He actually saw a future. She's somehow like immune to dying, and due to this now, she's like kind of become obsessed with death and the Reaper, and trying to off herself so that she can see him. She's been passed around from guardian to guardian, because they get like a stipend to take her, so they get paid. Every guardian that's tried to look after her or has looked after her has died, so they think that she's cursed, but she's literally obsessed with death. Like she keeps trying to off herself by, like, she fell down the stairs once and didn't die. She makes this Belladonna tea, doesn't die. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at and what I've gathered. And she gets like her inheritance when she turns 20, and where we're at right now, she's almost 20. So she's kind of hoping that this guardian that is actually looking after her right now passes, because she's actually horrible to her. She doesn't feed her well. She lives in an old dusty attic. And her aunt just like uses the money to gamble. But obviously she has this reputation now of being cursed, so everybody's super careful around her. But yeah, that's kind of what I got from it. I didn't read the back, like I said. I think I should. It says Cigna's best chance of uncovering the murderer is an alliance with Death himself. And as the mystery unfurls, Cigna realizes their growing connection may be more irreversible than she did imagine. So is she gonna fall in love with Death and then actually really die? I'm not sure. So far, like I said, really intrigued by it. Oh my gosh, it sucked me in. So I'm only on page 12, like I said, so I probably won't check in with you guys again today. I will get as far as I can and then check in with you guys tomorrow, because it's quite late in the day actually. It's like almost 5 p.m. now, and I've been editing and filming and doing a bunch of stuff all day, so this is my first chance to read. So I'm gonna give myself an hour to read, shower and get ready for bed, and then I know that's early, but it's winter, it's cold. You guys are gonna hear me complain about the cold numerous times now that it's winter, even though I'm potentially moving to the coldest country ever. It is freezing. I probably shouldn't have another cup of tea, but I really want one. It's just a quick update, and yeah, we'll hopefully be a bit further tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Everybody, sorry about the weird angle. I don't know why I always say hello when I turn on the camera, but it's courteous, I think. But I thought we'd do a quick check-in for Belladonna. I've reached page 146. I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it, and I am getting 5-star feelings. I am. Obviously, we still have a bit to go, so it's not definitive, but I am getting the feeling. I read some reviews when I was adding this to my list, my currently reading list, and I saw some reviews, and a lot of people didn't like the relationship with Cigna and Death, but obviously it's super Christian people, but not that that's a problem, but I think that would be the reason for that. But I see Death more as a metaphor. Everybody views Death differently. Like, some fear it, some embrace it, some are curious about it. So her relationship with Death is very different from the average person, because not only can she sense him, see him, speak to him, he's like literally involved in her everyday life, because she's had so many members of her family pass away, and obviously Death is always present. So they're currently investigating something where she's currently living. So now her and Death have like striked a bargain, and he's going to help her investigate, because she can't fathom having another family member passing away, because what's going to happen to her. And this is actually the best situation she's been in all the years. It's very interesting, and like I said, just the relationship with her and Death. And then there's another character named Silas, who's actually like a stable hand, and they have a budding relationship going as well. And she's been super lonely her entire life, with Death being the only constant in her life. So she's been super lonely, so she's trying to branch out and like actually make the most of it, because she's always dreamed of a life in like high society, and you know, entering into the season as a debutante and all of that stuff. So it's very interesting, and I think it's pretty cool seeing the personification of Death like that, because you would imagine Death being like cold and yucky and all of this stuff, but he's actually not like that. Being the Reaper is his job, but it doesn't define him as a person. Something like that. I don't know if that makes... My mic just went flying. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I don't know if I touched my mic, but I don't know if that makes any sense at all. But he's not like that. He's actually quite funny, and he really does care for Cigna. We haven't actually seen him in his full form yet. He's kind of just like shadows, and I think it's really interesting, and I love concepts like this. There's like spirits and ghosts, and I was going to say pedophiles. I didn't mean pedophiles. Poltergeists in it, which is literally right up my street. I love anything with paranormal essence or elements to it. So absolutely loving it. I'll I don't know if I'm going to read right now. I do have a few things to do. I have a lot of editing to do because I have a course for the next couple of days. I'm going to finish up what I need to do, and then I definitely will start reading and let you guys know where I am and if my feelings have changed. However, I was supposed to do some yoga now, but my limbs are so sore and I just got my monthlies, so I'm really feeling really tired. There was too many reallys in one sentence, but I'm feeling super exhausted, super sluggish, so I'm not going to push myself. So I have one more video to edit or just like proof watch again, so I'm going to do that, do some thumbnails, and then I definitely will get to reading. I finished it. Guess? Just guess. 5 stars. My prediction was correct. I absolutely enjoyed this book so much. I felt like the pacing was amazing. There wasn't one point in the book where I was bored. There was so much discuss that evoked some emotions in me. I cried in it as well. The mystery part of it was absolutely great. I didn't even guess the plot twist, and usually I guess like from the beginning. I had my suspicions, but I was completely wrong, and the way it was written was absolutely great. It was so atmospheric. Like, I felt like I could visualize everything that she was describing. The descriptions were that good. I absolutely cannot recommend this book enough. However, I do like darker elements in books. I really do enjoy it. The same with my movies. Like, my favorite genre is like thrillers, mysteries, and horrors. Like, absolutely love it. I don't like gore, but I really love like darker elements. Like, my husband thinks I'm weird because I watch so many horrors, but I absolutely love them. And this fell right in there. It wasn't like super dark, but it had like a deep dark gothic feel to it, and I absolutely ate it up. I loved Signa's relationship with death and the personification of death, and I felt like the way that death was described and spoke about was very eloquent, and it almost made it seem like death was a kindness, because there's so much suffering going on in the world, and you know, death stepping in and taking your hand when you take your last breath is a kindness. It's not something that is done out of malicious intent. So I thought that was great. The deeper meaning behind the personification of death was great. The last bit of the epilogue definitely set up the second book amazingly, and it wasn't done in a way that left you in a cliffhanger. It was an introduction to a new character, and I thought it was done so well, and you can hear it in my voice. I'm super excited. I'm so happy that I love this book, and I was scared. I got this book like a year ago, and I was so scared to read it because I just saw so many people say negative things about it, and you know, I don't always believe it, because a lot of times when other people don't like books, I like them because my taste is different, and obviously everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but these darker themes, they just speak to me, and I love them so much more. I guess that's why I really like dystopian and like darker fantasies. But yeah, so happy with this. I'm really excited that I get to add another 5-star to my little, I was gonna say label, but I don't have one, but I'm very excited to announce that this is a 5-star. So my hair looks weird. Sorry, I keep touching it. I look like Lord Farquaad, but I just brushed out my curls, but for some reason this hair is going all weird. Next, we're going to pick up Caraval. Why is this book so long? I don't understand. I know she does nice short chapters though, and it looks like there's some illustrations in here, which is quite exciting. I do also have the audiobook for this, so I'm going to be immersive reading it, which means it will go quite fast. It means it will go faster. If it's not a good audiobook, obviously I'll just stop listening to it. But oh no, it's not illustrations, it's like chapter breaks, and I think that looks great. That sounded very fake, but it looks cool. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with me today. I'm just so excited that this was a 5-star. I actually stayed up until like 2 a.m. this morning reading it, and I had about 70 pages left that I finished this morning. And yeah, I have a course that I need to do now. It starts in like 15 minutes, so I don't have time to read. I'll probably pick it up this evening or after my course. I finished my course at like 4:30, which is quite late, but yeah, we'll see what happens. But if not, I'll just update you guys tomorrow. I have high hopes for this. Like I said, I enjoyed the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I'm not going to harp on about it too much, but I do love Stephanie Garber's writing. It's very whimsical. It feels like a Disney movie being narrated to you, which I absolutely love. I don't even love third person, but the way the story is told is really enticing. So I'm very excited to see what happens with Jax, because I know that you're supposed to read this before and you get an introduction to like Jax as a character and the other fates, I think. I'm not entirely sure. The back doesn't say much at all. So it's in here, but I don't really want to read that just yet. I'm going to wait until I'm a bit further into the book to read the synopsis, just so nothing gets spoiled. But I know it's about two sisters that enter Caraval. One of them goes missing, and I don't know how Jax falls into it, but I know he's somewhere in this, and I loved him as a character in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy, so I'm excited to see like the beginnings of what made him be like the way he is. I don't even know if that was English, but you get the gist of it. So yeah, very excited. I will speak to you guys. That was very loud. I'll speak to you guys once I've completed my course and have a little bit more time to give you some insight. Very excited, very excited. This video is going so well and it's put me in the best mood. But anyway, see you guys in a bit. Good morning, friends. Well, it's morning my time. You guys won't be watching this in the morning, but it is now almost 11 o'clock and I have a class today at 1. So I thought I'd do a quick check-in before I get further into this book. So, Caraval. I am 206 pages in on chapter 20 and it's gone really fast. Like I read all 200 pages yesterday, but obviously I'm immersive reading. So I am listening to the audiobook along with reading this. And it's weird because the audiobook has like words put in where they aren't in the book. I don't know if she's just assuming that the sentence continues or starts a certain way, or if I have a different version than what she's reading, because I know there are two types of covers, which I have legendary and finale in. Yeah, it's a little bit weird, but it's still fine and it's going quick. I have to admit though, I'm not getting 5-star feelings from this. The first 100 pages was a lot of world building and build up and explanations and descriptions. I don't know, I'm finding myself a bit bored and I'm not gravitating to wanting to pick it up. It's definitely not a bad book and it's not going to be rated low, but still I do not feel just yet that it's a 5-star. It's probably sitting at a 4, so hopefully things pick up. If you don't know what this book is about, it is the prequel, well, it was written before, to Once Upon a Broken Heart, but you can tell that the writing style is slightly different. But it's about two sisters, Scarlett and Donatella, who are obsessed with Caraval, and Scarlett spends like 7 years or something writing to the master of Caraval to bring Caraval to her town. And 7 years later, she gets a response and she's been invited to Caraval along with her sister and her soon-to-be husband, but she's never met this fiance of hers. So they run into this weird sailor, but he's just conveniently placed. They run into a sailor and things happen and they end up going to Caraval. When she arrives at Caraval, she loses her sister. And this whole time she's just trying to locate her sister while participating in Caraval. And Caraval's is basically to find her sister. Well, that's her challenge at least. But there's a lot of magic and magical realism and there's something funny going on. But if I'm not mistaken, Legendary is his name? Legend. His name is Legend. He's also a fate, I think. I'm not sure, but obviously I read Once Upon a Broken Heart, so I kind of know what fates are. But yeah, it's fun. It's easy to read. It's literally, some chapters are really long, but then others are short, but the line spacing is good, the font is good, so it's a quick, easy read. However, like I said, it's not going to be a 5-star, but I'm still okay with that because Belladonna was a 5-star. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say for now. I'm probably going to finish this book today, I think. My course goes on until 4:30. It's from 1 till 4:30. Yeah, I'll probably only be able to read after that, but this only took me, I want to say 4 hours to read, so the rest will probably take me another 4 hours, so we'll definitely have a completed book tomorrow. It is Thursday today. Obviously I don't really film over the weekend, but I'm going to try. I'm trying to be better at this because obviously if things look different, my camera battery just rudely turned off. And so I was saying, obviously I am trying to be better because I really enjoy making these videos, and what is the point if I'm just so shy? I feel like I'm not completely being myself then. I'm kind of reeling in my personality. So I'm sure you've seen a difference. I just want to be myself and I really enjoy making these. So what is the point? But anyway, I'm very excited to finish this, but I will let you guys know when and if I finish it. But yeah, I was going to say something else, but I completely just forgot. It just slipped my mind. But yeah, I'm going to film another video before my class starts at 1, so I better get going. I just finished it and I'm conflicted. I'm stuck between a 3.75 and a 4-star. Like, I did enjoy most bits of it, especially like the magical elements and the fact that it was like teetering between reality and magic, and I really did like that, but I didn't get the same whimsical feeling I did with Once Upon a Broken Heart. So I'm not sure, but it wasn't a bad book. I did enjoy my time. I read it really quickly, but I'm not 100% sure of my rating just yet. So I might save that till the end of the video, so just stay tuned if you want to know my rating, but it's somewhere between that. Like I said, I did have a good time. I did enjoy the magical elements. I just felt like a lot of the like dialogue and stuff was really juvenile. Like, I know it's YA, but it felt very YA, even though they have like more steamy scenes in it. It just felt too YA, and I don't usually have a problem with YA. I love YA, but it felt juvenile. Another book finished. I don't have the other book with me, but today we're going to start Assassin's Blade, or The Assassin's Blade by J Maas. Very excited for that. I'm hoping that will also be a 5-star. Unfortunately, this wasn't, but I think I also have a little bit of a book hangover because of Belladonna. I really love that book and it's still stuck in my head, so it could have slightly tainted this, but I knew the risk coming into this video that can happen to me, especially because I didn't give myself time to sit on Belladonna. Yeah, I like that they had like letters in here as well, and I love like the chapter breaks. Like, that was very pretty. Yeah, I'm still very confused, but I think the next book should shed some light on what's going on, so I might do that in another like continuing series. I had a good time. I had fun. I'm just not 100% sure of my rating. I did just finish it right now. I liked the ending. I liked where it ended up and how things that seem real are not, and there's loads of lies and stuff, which obviously isn't always great, but it added to the mysterious element of what was going on, because we were going along with the characters not knowing what the hell is going on. So yeah, I think I did explain what the book was about in one of my previous check-ins, so I'm not going to waste your time with blabbering on about that, but it was a cool concept, very cool concept. I just feel like it was too young. That's it. I'm going to edit for a bit, and then I need to do a workout, and then I will start Assassin's Blade, if not tonight. So I'll probably check in with you guys tomorrow when I have a little bit more insight about what the Assassin's Blade is about. Like I said, I think it's supposed to be like the 3rd book in the series, but it's a prequel, so I want to read it first, so we'll see if that was a good choice or not. That's it. I'll leave you guys and see you in a bit. Good morning, guys. So it's morning for me. Obviously won't be morning for you, but it is Monday today, and I did read a little bit over the weekend, but not as much as I wanted to. Sorry about the lighting. It is a gloomy day, so I don't want to shut the shutters because it will be a little bit too dark in here then, so just excuse the halo. And I also wanted to just change it up because I noticed that I've been reading a lot in my bedroom, or in my bed specifically, because it's been freezing. It's winter right now and so cold, so cold. I actually have a blanket over me right now, and I just made myself a fresh cup of tea, so it's freezing. I don't do well with the cold. I haven't been sleeping great lately. Like, my sleep schedule, I don't know, since my husband left me, it's just been crazy. So last night I even took a melatonin at like 11 because I'd been trying for an hour to fall asleep and I just couldn't. I took a melatonin and still I just couldn't sleep. So I actually started a new book because I didn't want to get further into this, because obviously I hadn't spoken to you guys and I didn't just want to finish the book and come back. So let's get into our update. The Assassin's Blade by J Maas. So I was expecting to just love this straight off the bat, but I don't. I don't. I'm on page 174, chapter 6 in, I think this is the third novella I'm in. Because there's, I don't know if I said this, but it is a compilation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 novellas. So I'm currently on the third one, which is The Assassin and the Desert. So we have, I'm going to explain this so badly because, oh, the lighting just changed again. I'm going to explain this so badly because I'm really confused. This is a prequel to the Throne of Glass series. So if you read it via publication date, this will be the third book. But because all of this happens before Throne of Glass, I thought it would be better to read it, and a lot of people had suggested it. Because when you read this third, if you read it in order and had it third in line, it would be very boring. But now it's just a little bit confusing. So we have our main female character. Her name is Selena Sudathan, and she is an assassin, and she is part of this guild in the north, but the north is kind of run by someone who's pretty radical and authoritarian. So she's a part of this guild, and her master, he's called Lord Arabin. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but it's Arabin Harlem, and he is obviously the master of the guild, and he sends herself and another assassin off to do this like thing. It's like a task that they need to do into the pirate lands, and it goes horribly wrong because when they find out what business dealings he's about to do, they go against his word and they disobey him. So now she is being punished for disobeying him. First he beat her into a pulp, and now he sent her into the desert to train with a different guild of assassins. So that's kind of what I've got. Selena's supposed to be one of the world's greatest assassins, and she's only 17 years old currently. She is also the heir to become the guild master. So it's interesting, but it's novellas, and I needed a straight up story, but it's little things that have happened to her along the way, and I guess it kind of builds up to what happens in Throne of Glass, but it's not bad. I loved Sarah J Maas's writing, and I read this, I literally had maybe 2 sittings, so 3 sittings maybe, yeah, like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I didn't read on Friday, so it was Saturday and Sunday actually that I read all of this, so it was 2 sittings. And her writing is just so easy to comprehend, and she's very good at storytelling. Like, I can imagine it all playing out in my brain, so I do love her writing. I just don't feel 5-star vibes just yet, because every time things either start to pick up or whatever, the novella ends. I don't know if it's also just an introduction of characters, so I don't know which characters are important to the story yet, and she's met people along the way and have impacted her in different ways, so I don't know if they're going to be a part of like the story further along, or what significance they have in it, or if it's just her learning more about herself because she is so young. So I'm not quite sure yet, but like I said, it's not a bad book yet. I think my explanation was so convoluted, but that's how I feel right now, so just understand that I'm just telling you how I feel as I'm going along. It's feeling like maybe a 4.5, I'm not sure, but we'll see. The reason I'm sitting here as well, not just for a change of scenery, is because I want to read for 1 hour. Oh my gosh, this lighting. I want to read for 1 hour just before I get my day started. I have a lot to do today, a lot of admin-y things, and with my mental health not being great at the moment, I just need to like break my day up and schedule things, because otherwise I'll just sit down and go into like a little depressive cave. So I'm trying to avoid that. So I'm going to read for an hour, make some breakfast because I'm a diabetic, so I have to eat like before I do any sort of workout. So I will eat my breakfast, do a yoga, a little session, and then I need to do some admin, and then I also wanted to start a new video, but I'm not sure if we have time for that. So yeah, I have quite a bit to do, but with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead, finish my tea and read for an hour, and then I'll update you guys a little bit later when I've read a bit more. I honestly haven't spoken to you guys in a while. It's probably been about 2 or 3 days. For you it feels quick, for me it feels long. But we finished it. I finally finished The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. Was it a 5-star? Unfortunately not. I was really bored and found reading it quite tedious. I'm glad I read it first though. I'm really glad, because I think if it had been between the second and third book, I would have been bored and probably DNF'd the series. So this is just an introduction to how Celaena Sardathan got to where she was, and it is actually an immediate, I mean, yeah, so I can't explain it right now. I don't know why I just lost words. It's because I saw someone walking outside and I completely lost my train of thought. What is it called? It's a prequel. It's a prequel. So it all leads up to where she is now in Throne of Glass. So the last chapter leaves kind of on a cliffhanger of sorts to start Throne of Glass. And I was going to take some B-roll of this, but I forgot. If you look at the back and the reading order, the Assassin Blades is actually first. So I think she did suggest that you read it first. Again, at the end of the book, it says read on for an excerpt from the next book in the Throne of Glass series. So I'm assuming, I don't know. I'm confusing and I'm confused and I'm confusing myself. But I didn't really love it. I loved some parts of it. I didn't like others. The part with, I don't know if you guys know, but Sam, that was heart-wrenching and I felt so sorry for her, but she's so naive, vain. Like she just thinks she's the best, and maybe she is, maybe she isn't, but she's been bested a couple of times. So how can you be the best if you've been bested? And I just found the fact that they kept calling her Celaena Sardathan over and over. So Celaena Sardathan is the best. I am Celaena Sardathan. We know who you are. We know who you are. You don't need to keep repeating it. So I found that quite frustrating. All in all, it was a fun read. I liked the last book, because obviously it's a series of novellas, and the last one is called The Assassin and the Empire. I really liked that one, and then I also really liked The Assassin and the Healer, where she met Irene. So those for me were the best novellas in here, and I'm hoping that all these characters somehow have a part in the series as a whole, because I'd love to see more of them. Caraval, who is her master, he's the king of the assassins, he's a dick. I really can't stand his character. I'm hoping he did what he did for a reason, but I don't think so. I think he's just spiteful. But yeah, that's that. I've spent too much time rambling on and stumbling over my words there just to articulate how I felt, because the way I was just speaking is how I felt reading this book. It was very sporadic, very I don't know, sometimes it just felt like details were included in where it didn't need to be. Like her walking to a house, like we get 3 pages of her passage and her internal monologue and her thoughts before she even gets there, and it's like a 2-minute walk, but we got 3 pages to explain that. I didn't love that, but I don't know if the rest of the series is going to be like that. So I'm hoping, I am fingers crossed, that I'm still going to enjoy Throne of Glass, because honestly I've been looking forward to it after finishing ACOTAR. ACOTAR is one of my favorite book series and I cannot recommend it more. If so far, this is only the first book, but so far I would rather go for the other one. It is much more immersive than this was, in my opinion. I'm going to shut up now. I gave this a 3.5. I was stuck between a 3.5 and a 3.75, but 3.5 actually just describes exactly how I feel about this book and where I would place it amongst my other fantasy reads as well. So that's actually the end of this video. We're only doing 3 books, but we did find one 5-star, which was Belladonna by Adalyn Grace. Absolutely loved this book, loved the vibes, loved the imagery, loved the dark gothic elements about it, and I loved the personification of death, the way they describe death and how death is always so misunderstood. And someone who's gone through a lot of grief, it can shed light or lighten what you feel about death. So this was amazing and I can't recommend it more. Please go read this book. It is so good, especially if you like more dark gothic things. It doesn't really touch on religion, because as you know, if you've seen one of my previous videos, I don't like that. I don't like when religion is disrespected in any way, but this doesn't really have much to do with religion. It's just like the personification of death, and death is part of life and not necessarily part of religion as such. But yeah, it's very good, very good. Then we read Caraval, just a quick update. Caraval, again, wasn't where I wanted it to be, wasn't what I was looking for. And I love fantasy. I love the other series, the Once Upon a Broken Heart. Absolutely love that series. I think it's like a 4.5 if I had to round up all the ratings for all 3 books in that series. Absolutely loved it. I haven't met Jax yet. We've just met Legendary, and yeah, it was fun. It was fun and it was so easy to read. It's not very complex, so it's very quick and easy to understand, and it's fun with the magical realism and all the magic that is in the society. I love the two sisters. I really did, but there was just something missing for me, so I ended up giving this a 3.75. And then obviously we have The Assassin's Blade, which was a 3.5. But that is it. My predictions were slightly off, but I think I just hyped these books up so much in my mind, and I saw other people do the same, so I had a different vision of what I expected from it. But I'm still happy I got to read them. They were above mediocre for sure, and I would recommend all of them. But yeah, I think just my thoughts in my head were completely different, but I'm still glad, like I said, that I read it. But that is all my anticipated 5 stars. I bit the bullet. I just read them, and yeah, let me know if you want to see me read any other of these books that came out wrong, any of the other books in these series, and yeah, I'll definitely make a video of those. But with that said, that's it from me, guys. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's keep this rolling, because yeah, the channels are getting a little bit of traction, so that's very exciting. Please also let me know in the comments what you read, if you've read these books and what you thought of them. Please convince me whether I need to make another video. I would love to start a conversation with that. But that being said, that's it from me, guys. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.